Kia ora guys, welcome back to another video. It's Max hosting the All Black fan page, and we're going to do a video on 5 potential downfalls of Super Rugby Aotearoa players. This is going to be an interesting, or maybe even controversial video, but I think maybe this is a topic that should be discussed every year, as not every player can keep playing the same way year in, year out, week in, week out. So as usual, I'm going to pick one player from each of the 5 teams, and we'll jump into things, and I'll discuss how I think they could potentially go in Super Rugby this year. So the first player who could have a potential downfall is Rieko Ioane from the Blues. When Rieko jumped onto the scene in 2016, he made his All Blacks debut as a 19-year-old. I was very surprised to see a 19-year-old getting picked in the modern era, and it's not something seen often. The following year, when he converted to wing, I was like, wow, I was genuinely blown away, and I thought that Rieko was going to eventually swap to centre and he was going to become the greatest player of all time. I thought every single record was there for the taking. But, as I've said in previous videos, All Black outside backs just do not have much for job security. And Rieko Ioane has proven to be another example of it. Instead of going back to the wing, making it his own jersey once again, he's moved into centre, and his instincts, as far as we can see, appear to be more of a winger's instincts than a centre's instincts. And when you don't have an instinct to play the position you want to play in, it's very hard for you to perform at the level you want to perform at. And I'm worried that such an easy transition from school rugby into pro rugby for Rieko has allowed him to get a bit complacent. I hope that Rieko doesn't fall off, because I'd like to see him play for as long as he can. But part of me worries if this could potentially be his last year as an All Black if he doesn't get going. Now, another downfall I think could potentially happen could be Lachlan Boshier from the Chiefs. He was by a country mile the best forward in the Chiefs, and I'd argue he was probably even the best loose forward in New Zealand in 2020, based on his ability to run the ball, his ability to make turnovers, and obviously his tackling. Lachlan Boshier, I remember, made 4 turnovers in a single game in the opening round of Super Rugby, and that was just amazing. Lachlan Boshier was picked for the North Island squad, but didn't end up playing, and ever since then, Duplessis Karifi appears to have leapfrogged him in the pecking order, even though Boshier continues to perform week in, week out for Taranaki. I don't think Boshier's form is going anywhere, but I'm worried that he may not end up getting an All Black cap, as Cullen Grace at age 21, Dalton Papali'i at age 23, and a few more guys are now starting to leapfrog him. Even Akira Ioane's finally got in. So unfortunately for Boshier, I think this year could prove to be his downfall, and this year's possibly even his last chance to make the All Blacks. And if he doesn't make the team this year, it could possibly be the door shut on his chances of getting a cap completely. Another downfall I think could happen could be David Havili for the Crusaders. The Crusaders have a bit of an injury crisis going into 2021 already. Andrew Makaleo's out of hooker, George Bridge is out for the majority of the season on the wing, and Braden Ennor in the North versus South game tore his ACL and may not play in Super Rugby at all this year. So with Braden Ennor injured, that makes it possible for David Havili to be moved by the coaches into the number 12 jersey, with Jack Goodhue at 13. Obviously, Lester Fainganuku would come in for George Bridge, Severis would remain at 14, and Will Jordan could go to fullback, where he prefers to play. If a shuffle as such was to occur, that could possibly shut the door on David Havili's chances of becoming an All Black once again. He played 3 tests in 2017, and unfortunately, if this goes ahead, those could be the last of his caps. Another downfall I think is on the way is that of Shannon Frizzell. Shannon Frizzell, I didn't really understand why he was picked to be an All Black in 2018. He wasn't even a regular starter for the Highlanders, and he appeared to just have caught everyone's attention for the simple fact that he scored a hat-trick against the Blues, who were by far one of the worst teams in Super Rugby back then. Frizzell played a good game on his debut though, and played very well during the World Cup, but his discipline continues to get in the way of his potential to become a regular starter in the number 6 jersey. Aotearoa was chosen over him for the final test of 2020, and Aotearoa did not disappoint. Aotearoa has been playing very well lately, and if Aotearoa continues to perform, and if Luke Jacobson gets a recall, I think that's it for Shannon Frizzell. Not only that, but the Highlanders, as I've discussed previously, now have Kazuki Himeno on the books. Liam Squire is back, and Marino Mikaele-Tu'u continues to make stride after stride after stride in his quest to become an All Black himself. Shannon Frizzell is walking a slippery slope right now, and I think he could possibly be a red card away from not wearing a black jersey again. Another downfall I think could happen would be that of Dane Coles. I've never been the biggest fan of Dane Coles, but I'm going to give it to him here. He's been absolutely amazing for the Hurricanes. He played more than 100 games for them. He's played more than 70 tests from the All Blacks. And Dane Coles continues to work so hard for his family and for his team. Even when he was having terrible migraines caused by heading to the stadium packed of noise, he still went to support the team when they were playing back when he was concussed in 2017. Dane Coles is a team man, and kudos to Dane for being a team man. But unfortunately, his age is getting to him, and so is his discipline. And as he's just turned 34, I think this may be the passing of the baton from Coles to Aotearoa at the Hurricanes and at the All Blacks. And thank you, Dane, for being a great servant to New Zealand rugby, but it's unfortunately time to pass on the baton. Righty guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to drop us a like down below, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to the Patreon, and most importantly, watch our next video. See you later guys.